Welcome to part 2 of B.E.A.S.T Dirty Dozen Does Alabama. Our intention here at B.E.A.S.T is to make videos that are educational, fun to watch, and to share what we learn with you. Our group of 12 came together from 5 different states to share a campfire and to discuss what we've learned and what we've experienced since our last outing back in the spring. In part 2, you will get inside the mind of 2 of the most experienced booger trackers that are in the field today. Last year, Eric Tipton and Kain hiked over 2,500 miles in search of evidence. They have their own unique way of tracking, and it is successful. They have never been here to Alabama and came in cold turkey and got some action. Come along with them as they are candid about how they decide what routes they will take, and when they come up on possible evidence, how they will evaluate and categorize it. When in the field with these guys, it reminds us of those E.F. Hutton commercials. When they talk, everything goes quiet and people listen. This kind of respect is earned, and we here at B.E.A.S.T can attest. It is very much deserved. Great job, guys. Watch and enjoy.
Alright, I think we're leaving camp. Shelly's laughing because I'm gonna die.
Huh?
Shelly's laughing because I'm gonna die. We come across us a nice little rattlesnake. He ain't little. He just ate Kain. We're gonna try to cut him out. I don't think he's in any position to bite, but who wants to try him?
He's ready to fight.
My bad, there he is with his tail going. He ain't rattling too much, but enough that Kain crapped his pants.
I got baby wipes.
Glad you do. Yeah, he's fat.
I think he just ate.
I need some boots.
He's got a damn squirrel in him.
In this video, we'll take you into the mind of a tracker and field researcher. In our opinion, this is one of the best videos, if not the best, of how an operation should be conducted. Jen, let's give some examples of things that should be addressed before any field op.
Pay attention to investigative details and do your homework by studying the topo maps and what is believed to be a natural corridor. It puts the researchers on the right path to success. On a topographical map, there are going to be different distinct features that will give you a contour line that will show you the rise and drops in elevation.
Exactly, Jen. Using topo maps can be the difference between the success of finding possible signs or just tromping around the woods aimlessly. What's your experience in using hiking trails?
Regarding hiking trails, you will not see your normal animals using hiking trails as corridors, so we should not expect to see boogers using them, although they will cross them.
Where the hiking trails correlate with the possible corridors can be an excellent starting point to head into the bush. Jen, let's talk a little about what the guys heard and found about a quarter of a mile off the hiking trail.
When the researchers did enter into an outer sector of the bedding area, a large critter was heard jumping up and ran away from them, and 5 minutes later a knock was heard on the ridge overlooking them.
Kain heard something out of this blowdown get up and take off running that he said sounded big. Ran down through the valley away from us.
There was an animal coming out here. Something big. But man, it got over there pretty fast. We found 4 or 2. Here I just heard the rustling. And then over there, I just heard it like moving. I heard whoop. That was it. But I think somewhere right in here it came out of. I even been down there. Something came out of. I mean, I couldn't see what it was, but we certainly heard it. That
Oh, I didn't hear that.
back over here, like a tree knot.
You're in their bedroom.
It's matted down. I'm gonna take a picture of it. It's a slide and.
Kain just heard a wood knock after something got up out of this blowdown and run off. Kain's in that blowdown. It's hard to see, but he's in there. And he found a bed right where he's at. Of what, we don't know. Stay tuned.
I really think the footprint in here, I think there's a drag.
Uh-huh.
There's two prints. I'm not really seeing anything coming out the back. I think it came right up the way I came in. It looks like something screwed up here. Came through here somewhere. Doesn't really look like in the back. Doesn't look like anything came out the back. I think we need to canvas this area right here because it ran through here. But that's not a deer.
Right.
Deer's not going to be inside of this, I wouldn't think. So it's good size to it. But it was fast, that's for sure. Hell, even if it was here. That's fresh. I mean, that looks like just happened.
That was fresh right there. But this isn't a natural limb falling here. It's hard to get a view because I'm on a steep angle. Line it out. Because it's hard as crap to see on video.
That's the heel. Heel, toe, toe, toe. About, well, here's my yardstick. Each notch is 12 inches, so I'll say 9. Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, right around 9 inches.
And
8, 9 inches.
what Kain jumped was small, so
Yeah. You can see that. You can see our print where we walk this way.
well,
Something's
we
heading
can't on
there.
video. We're in hot pursuit anyway.
Yeah, we're pursuing something. It's going that way.
I think we're gonna die.
This one right here was placed, not rooted.
Alright.
Not rooted. Over here, not rooted. So, if you think about it, if this just falls, it should hit the ground. It almost has to happen simultaneously for it to be natural.
Right.
And we got this over here. Well, we got 2 sticks wedged into here, which we haven't even got looked at yet. Fell from this way. This one. It's just this weird stuff you see. It doesn't. And then you look up here at the trees. None of these trees, look at all the other branches. Look at the size of them. So if this fell, this branch fell, what little sapling did it come off of? These are teeny little branches. So this, to me, looks like that was put there. Looks like this was put here. For what reason? Don't know. And got this over here, which is interesting. So you can see this whole
Was it?
and you can see the rub. I thought that was a rub. It's not. But if you look at the branch itself, it actually lines and it pulls back behind this separate tree. If it would have fallen straight, it would have fallen in front of this one and this one. This tree here is actually to the right of that tree, so it was manipulated back around that tree there. You can actually see the force of this tree here leaning this way from the force of that being wedged.
And like this, if this was natural, you'd have to say it fell because it's not rooted. It didn't fall from any of these trees. These have tiny little 1/4 inch, all of them.
Right.
So how did this, I mean right there you can clearly see it didn't come from there. You get balance on here if it didn't fall from this tree. And it didn't fall from here. It's just laying here and it makes like a
Well, what I was seeing up there was this type stuff on a smaller scale.
right.
And there's some kind of smell like
But then that one there broke off the top of this and went down through there. But look how those trees,
yeah, it's intertwined too.
in order for that to get through those 3 trees, it would have had to have been manipulated as well.
Yeah.
Hold it a second, Debbie. We need to talk about how Eric and Kain work together and how... Oops, wrong video. Okay, there we go. And how they evaluate evidence and piece it together with what they are finding.
Kain and Eric work together really well in the field. They have the same mindset, but their approaches are definitely different. After deciding on a zone they'll cover, they will usually separate and come back together when and if one of them finds possible evidence. Kain is very meticulous and thorough at looking at the evidence. He talks his way through it while conversing with Eric, whereas Eric is more quiet, takes in what Kain is saying, and puts the whole picture together. Eric looks for more clues in the area and looks to see if the corridor is heading in the direction of what he believes the terrain dictates, while he stores everything that Kain says. It's almost like he's storing the data and lets the clues paint the picture.
I'm going to tell you, Debbie, if someone is a field researcher, no matter what level they are at, they can learn from these guys. All right, enough talk. Let's fire up the video again.
Here is what I would call like the front door to an area. Because there's too much in one spot. It's very different if you just come up and you see that X right there, and then that's it, you know.
And look at how thick this valley is.
Exactly.
They can go any way and get away from anything.
That's right. But there's no like blinds. There's no structures other than this. I mean, I haven't seen any type of like sentry post or anything like that. So that leads me to believe that we're in deep enough to where they don't have to post up on a ridge line. They feel secure here. And when I Google Earth this, we were quite a ways away from any roads.
Yeah.
There's nothing that intertwines through here. No 2 tracks. No nothing. So this is definitely a safe haven for them, which is good. I know the river is that way.
Gotta be one of them 5-pound leaves.
this is why when I Google Earth it and I looked at just the terrain, the deep gorge, which I don't think this is it. We're not there yet. It just looked like an area that would house them, and they would be very comfortable in.
Yeah, that gorge too is something, you know. You just know they're gonna be up and around there.
So, and with the movement that we're having,
Especially now because we're just hanging out,
yeah,
not paying attention to it, you know.
I'll be really surprised if we don't get some sort of aggression eventually.
If we keep pushing, yeah.
I was getting to say, this here is the rest of it. And if you look at the trajectory of this would have fallen, and that should be landing on this side of the tree, but yet it's wedged.
Yeah, that's what we're
And
saying.
that's for sure.
And look at the trees itself. There's no way it could have.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it had to have been forced inside the
Not
tree.
from this angle,
No.
you know. It had to come from this angle. And just you see.
Well, you have to look at the saplings underneath it too. I mean, look at all this. This thing would have stopped hitting this.
Yeah.
It would have stopped. It would have bounced. It would have went somewhere other than here.
And there's no damage to.
And there's no damage to the saplings at all. So.
That's cool.
This is what we've been looking for since we've been out here. Something like this. You know, this whole area. What's manipulated.
Is a blind, then this is protecting whatever's that way. Not down there. It obviously would be spun and looking up the ridge.
Right.
They don't look up the ridge. So, I mean, this is good. This is really good because it correlates with that. So that blows what I was saying out of the water, as in, are we in an area where they feel secure, to where they don't need blinds, they don't need sentry posts. If this is a sentry post, then that means we just trudge through their protected area unknowingly. And whatever it is that we just pushed out of there is now pushed up on the other ridge, out of its area. So from here we go that way.
I mean, every one of those are. Every one of these are stuck in the ground. All of them. That's the only live one.
And it's still living.
Yeah. Now, take this straight up where it should be. These ain't, you know, these ain't heavy enough to land on that and bend it like that.
No.
I guarantee you can't duplicate it.
So on to the next.
You got that one, didn't you? Fuck that one just a little bit.
So Larry's assessment on this is, and I agree with him, this tree was rooted.
Let Eric know.
Mark, check the video just before this for a tree knot.